What's going on, guys? This is the Red Rogue, and today we'll be looking at the first major Covenant ability change that Rogue has gotten so far in the beta. That's right, Blizzard heard the cries of dissonance and pain echoing throughout the Shadowlands for the suffering inflicted upon the most noble and pure of all Covenants. That's right, Blizzard's finally stepping in, getting into some real work on the Covenants, and has removed Echoing Repra. Oh wait, I think I read this wrong. Wait, they got rid of Slaughter? Okay, what did they change it with? Flagellation. Okay, we whip people now. And wear leather. Okay. So, yeah, I totally didn't see this one coming. Slaughter, the obscure ambush plus deadly poison with a leech effect move, is now gone. And this is exactly why I don't normally talk about Covenant abilities until after pre-patch is out. Here's to hoping they don't do anything to Sepsis, since I literally just made that freaking video because I thought the idea was cool. Oh well, anyways. The new Venthyr Rogue ability, Flagellation, will be pushed to beta servers in the upcoming build. So as soon as the beta's up, I'll be testing the crap out of it to see how brokenly overtuned it is or how absolutely bad it is. As of now, all we have to go off of for what this ability will do is the blue post discussing the new addition, so I'll go over that really quick. I'm hoping that by the time I put this video together, the servers will be up so I can test this new ability out and get a head start on the follow-up video for this. Flagellation, according to the post, is going to be an instant cast move. However, the cooldown will only start once the Flagellation effect is removed from your target. When you cast the move, you will lash your target with Anima 3 times, dealing shadow damage and applying a debuff that lasts for 45 seconds. This debuff will cause an additional lash to hit your target for every combo point that you spend. Once the target has at least 25 lashes, you can re-trigger the Flagellation ability. Doing this will remove the debuff from your target, and it will increase your mastery by 10% for 25 seconds. What makes me immediately happy about this ability is that it doesn't sound like there's anything involving stealth, meaning this ability can actually be used by Outlaw more than once every minute or two like Slaughter was. Both Assassination and Subtlety had far more ways to trigger Slaughter than Outlaw did. However, without a decent amount of ranks in the Slaughter Scar's Conduit, it wouldn't have been nearly as viable as it would have been later on in higher ranks. So in terms of interactions with our toolkits, there's a lot left up in the air on this ability. From the wording of this tooltip and the way this ability sounds, it seems pretty similar to the Ashvane's Razor Coral from Battle for Azeroth, which applied a debuff to your enemies and dealt damage with every stack of the debuff. Upon reactivation of that trinket, the stacks would fall off and you'd gain a critical strike bonus based on how many stacks you were at when the trinket was triggered, or when the target died. I can already foresee a couple potential headaches with this ability, but I'll start with the speculated benefits that I see first. For one, you'll be using a lot less GCDs to work with this Covenant ability than you will with Serrated Bone Spike, which can sometimes become a bit all-consuming with your rotation due to the recharging stack mechanic and the short recharge rate. This means that Flagellation should be easier to work into a rotation, rather than having to hard swap to just using Bone Spikes due to overcapping from targets dying or recharging or things like that. 2, this is another shadow damage based ability, meaning Subtlety Rogues will be able to take advantage of their deeper Daggers Conduit once again. Also, by going with the Venthyr Covenant, we'll have access to some pretty strong Soulbind talents, such as the large 20% haste proc from Thrillseeker, which will be great for Assassination, or the 10% versatility proc from Wasteland Propriety, which is good for all 3 specs. Thanks to the Ambidexterity Conduit, there is a good chance that Mastery will be Outlaw's best stat once the Conduits have the ranking system implemented, meaning that 10% Mastery buff will be pretty respectable, especially due to the new secondary stat diminishing return system. For those who didn't know about that, basically, as you stack more of a particular stat on your gear, there will be a diminishing benefit at various thresholds. However, percentage-based increases don't affect that, which is a good thing, as the mastery bonus from Flagellation is percentage-based. There's also the slim wishful thinking chance that Anima lashes will be affected by Blade Flurry, which would be a tremendous benefit for Outlaw if the lashes deal decent damage. I mean, Bone Spike can already be Blade Flurry, so why not the Anima Whip lashes? Okay, so now the potential downsides to Flagellation. This will probably sound like deja vu, because the lashes deal shadow damage, which Subtlety gains a benefit from due to the deeper Daggers Conduit, which makes this yet another effect that has more synergy with Subtlety than either of the other 2 specs. This isn't a bad thing if you already planned on playing Subtlety, of course, but there's already a lot of shadow damage based trinkets, consumables, weapon enchants, and abilities that Subtlety can take advantage of, so something will probably need to be done about the deeper Daggers Conduit affecting so many things in my opinion. If the target dies while they're getting lashed by your Flagellation, but aren't at 25 lashes when that happens, you probably won't gain anything from it and the effect will just go on cooldown. Not really a big deal, and most likely this will be the case, but it will make you have to be sure you can get 25 lashes onto the target before they're dead. In trivial content, this could make the ability have very little use, unless again those lashes just do a pretty good amount of damage and can make up for that loss of the 10% mastery buff. This next part is again speculation, but due to this debuff, you'll basically be stuck only hitting that one target that you whipped because you need to get those 25 lashes to trigger on them, unless it just counts any combo points you use once a lash has already gone out. If so, then this isn't a big deal, but it's definitely something I'm going to be testing to make sure if that's going to be or not going to be the case. We also don't know exactly what's going to happen to the Slaughter Scar's Conduit. Obviously, with Slaughter being gone, the ability might have an entirely different Conduit to go with it, so we'll have to see if the Conduit's going to be worth using or if it's just going to be something we never touch. Which, after seeing the other Rogue Covenant Conduits, that wouldn't really surprise me, but it would feel kinda bad for a Conduit to literally never be used just because your class-specific ones are better when you kinda sorta picked this Covenant because you like them and like their ability, I'm assuming. So yeah, these were all of my first thoughts the second I saw the blue post go up from Blizzard about the new Flagellation ability. I'll be curious to hear what you folks think of this really abrupt replacement of Slaughter. I personally think it already sounds like a way better option for Outlaw than Slaughter ever would have been, though I'm curious if better is going to be good enough to be a competitive Covenant ability. For Assassination and Subtlety, Slaughter had some potential at higher Conduit rankings, but I think it is a change for the better to not have numerous Covenant abilities require stealth-oriented gameplay, or talents that gave access to stealth moves. That and the selfish part of me really wants Venthyr to be strong for Outlaw because their stuff is so freaking cool looking. Who knows, maybe Blizzard for once isn't going to just nerf the best option into the dirt and is genuinely seriously trying to make the other Covenant abilities viable. There is a first time for everything after all. Anyways, I hope you folks enjoyed this little speculation video. If this is your first time around to my little corner of the YouTube algorithm, I'd like to welcome you to come check out the rest of the channel. I do new uploads every weekday and have primarily been covering Shadowlands content these last couple months in preparation for the new expansion, and I try to give as much attention to the sneaky boy rogue class as I can. I'd also like to take this time to thank all of my regular commenters, viewers, subscribers, and especially my patrons who help make these Shiba Shenanigans possible. Thank you all so much for watching. This is the Red Rogue, and I'll see you guys around.